Alright, I wanted to look at the louver pattern really quickly. It's a slightly unique pattern, different from the other ones that we've been making. So if I select this and go to, select that surface, divide that surface, and we'll just divide it horizontally, then I can come into my patterns and I have a louver. Haven't made any types for this one yet. And when it comes in, it looks real funny, right? Like I want that louver to go all the way across. And what's happened is it's actually 90 degrees to the way that I want it to be. So it's actually taking this little tiny louver and squinching it up. But you can, if you have a little faith, you can come over and sort of play oftentimes with the rotation. So if I come into rotation and rotate that 90, you're going to see that that louver rotates itself from vertical to horizontal, and you get this louver rotation. So if I go to my east elevation, right there is that louver. Let me turn off the shadows and maybe go to a hidden line, which will be a little easier to see, so you can see those louvers are spinning. Right, so if I go take a look at it here, and let's go to wireframe, might be a little easier to see, or hidden line. You can see that they're flat here and that they rotate to there, so you're getting sort of the spin on them. So let's take a look at what those guys look like. If I go to edit type, you see that we've got a -45 spin on a P2 and a 0, and then the length or the width of that guy, the length of each end is at 1'8". So let's hit cancel. Let's take a look at that louver. So I'm just going to tab select one, right click on it, go to edit family, and it's going to bring up this louver family. And actually it's got a little bit more going on than a little bit. What there are is there are two reference points that I've aligned to these adaptive points, and I've drawn lines on them, and you can spin those points by placing an angle parameter on them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's just remake this guy really quickly. So I'm going to window around all the stuff and delete it. So we're back to scratch on our rectangle, okay, 10 by 10. So basically what I want to do here is I want to come in and host a couple of reference points on this line. Okay, so basically I got 2 points, right, that are hosted by that reference line, right? So you can see they're stuck on that line. So what I want to do is I want to pick that point and I want to draw a reference line on it. And I'm just going to draw it out to the right here. That's not overly important which. And I'm going to go to set that, and then draw another line out to there. I'm going to pick that line, make that permanent, pick that line, make that permanent, pick both of these, and I already have the parameters in here. For length, you can add the parameter. If you don't have it, just call it L, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the parameter that I already have. And it's going to set both of those to that length parameter. Now, these points, if I pick that point, you see all the information it gives me over here. One of the things is a rotation angle, and there is an ability to set a family parameter to that. So I'm going to left click on it, and I already have 3 of them set up. If you don't, you can just click add parameter and give it a name, but I'm going to name this one P1. Click OK, and then I'm going to pick this one, set that rotation angle to P3, and select OK. And then what I'm going to do is align to that point. And I'm going to align to that point. And now I can go in and pick those two and create form, select just the surface, and then I can go in and sort of test these guys. So if I want this to be 2 feet, I can apply those, go out to 2 feet. I don't have P2 applied to anything, so I'm going to set it to 0, but what if I set this to 35 and apply? You can see that that spins 35. And if I set this one to 25 and apply, you can see that that's spinning to 25. So if I wanted to go negative, I can just hit negative 25 and apply, and negative 25 and apply. Now one thing's a little weird. If I set this to 89 and I set this to 89 and apply, you see how it goes underneath? If I go to 90 and apply, it spins it all the way vertical. So somehow there's some kind of mirroring going on. So if you get into trouble between 89 and 90, then set it at 89.5 because it does some kind of odd stuff with that. So I tend to stay away from 90 if I can help it. But we'll take 0 here and apply. Okay. We could make different, I have louver up here just as a basic type. I could make a new one and call this louver. Louver 2, right? And maybe set this one at 45 and apply. And maybe make it, 3 feet. Apply. Click OK. Now I could set a material parameter and a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to load this guy into project. Click OK. Overwrite the existing version, and you can see it flattens it out because it's reassigned the points. But let's take a look at it and see. That's louver. We should have, we go back here, let's try louver 2, right? So that's the 3-foot one with the twist in it, which is a little radical. If we control Z out of that and pick this guy and go to edit type, we can set that to 0, maybe set that to 90 and apply and click OK, and you're going to get a twist on that guy, right? Which is pretty radical to 90. That seems a bit much. Maybe we just edit type, and instead of 90, let's go to 45 and apply, click OK. And then the 45 is a little weird because it's going up into that, so maybe negative 45. Click OK. There you go. So now you've got, if we go to our east elevation, you've got that sort of background. We could go to our graphic display, go to background and change it to sky. Click OK. And now you can see that you get more transparency as it spins flat. Alright, so that's it.